Morning. In political science, I am continuing the chapter for class 11, and the chapter is federalism. In the previous lecture, you were told about the meaning of federalism. That means a system where the power is divided between the center and the state governments. So there is division of power at two levels, one at central level or union level and the other in different states. Okay, and how can we say that we have federal state? That we know that in our countries, in India, we have union government, that is in New Delhi, and we have different state governments, okay, and union territories. Union territories, they are under the direct control and administration of the union government. That is why they are called union territories or the areas. Whereas the state governments, they are those areas that are ruled, that are administered by their own elected government. But that government is not totally independent. That depends or that functions according to the provisions mentioned in the constitution. These are the areas for their powers and functions, and these are the areas which will be dealt by the union government. So we have in India federal system, okay, or India is a federal state. We have state governments also, and we have union government also, or central government also. Now we are taking provisions making India a federal state. Provision means the ways how we can say that India is a federal state. We can make it out with the help of these points or features. First of all, we have written constitution. Written constitution, the constitution is a set of rules and laws according to which the country is run, the administration is run, the rules and laws are framed. Okay, and it is very important in a federal state. Federal state must have a written constitution. Why? To avoid any confusion, clash regarding the powers or their functions to be exercised either by state government or the union government. So if any confusion is there, that is clear, or the things are clearly mentioned to be followed in the constitution. So constitution must be there, plus constitution must be in written form. Okay, all the terms and conditions, rights, responsibilities, powers are mentioned clearly in the constitution. So there is clear description on the subjects to make laws on, okay, either by the central government or the state government. Here the subjects are the topics or the areas which come under the state government or the union government or central government to make laws on. Second provision is that supremacy of the constitution. Supremacy of the constitution means, yes, we have written constitution, but that constitution is to be followed by all the, here we mean the state governments as well as the union government. So whatever is mentioned in the constitution, that is supreme, that is to be followed. Otherwise it will be unconstitutional or unlawful. Okay, and for this, what everything is mentioned in the constitution, as I have just told you. So supremacy means that is to be followed by all the things, all the provisions mentioned, described in the constitution. Third reason or provision is rigid constitution. These three things are related to each other, and the main thing is here the constitution. First should be constitution for federal state, that should be written constitution, then it should be supreme, and it should be a rigid constitution. Rigid constitution means which cannot be amended easily. Amended means which, if some provisions or things or rules that are already mentioned, but they are not as useful as they used to be or they could be in present time, so they can be changed. Something can be added, something can be deleted, okay, or new law can be formed, but this is done by the parliament. By the parliament means by both the houses. So here few things are there that cannot be changed easily, and some common general things that can be changed easily by simple majority, and few, some not few, those few that are very important, that are basically related to the basic structure of the constitution, changing the boundary of the states, etc. So such things cannot be done easily without getting the what majority by 2/3 majority of both the houses in the parliament, and ratified by more than half state legislatures. So that is a complicated procedure, okay. So that makes the constitution rigid constitution. Rigid constitution now here means it is not flexible, it cannot be amended easily, it needs special majority. So especially in case of the division of power, that which subject will be included in which lists, they are called state lists, okay, that I will mention in the next point. So they cannot be shifted. The subjects written in the different list cannot be shifted by following what simple method, or by what using simple majority method. So our constitution is not a either flexible or rigid completely, that is mix. But certain things are certain not to be changed easily. The fourth point is division of power. So division of power, that is the main thing here, in which is the main feature of the federal form of government. There the power here we means power to legislate, power to make rules on, okay. So division of power is done by having the group of or the list of subjects to be dealt by state government or by union government or by both of them, okay. So here we have three main lists. Union list includes those subjects that are of great importance, that are of national importance. For example, defense, atomic energy, foreign affairs, war, peace, currency, railways, banking, etc. They are equally important in the entire country. So the legislation, the law making on such subjects will be done by the union government, and that is under the union list. Second list is state list. State list is the group of subjects to be dealt by the state governments. We all know that we have different states and they have different conditions, geographical condition, social conditions, law and order conditions. So they are to be dealt by different state governments in their own way, okay. And they include what, like police, agriculture, land, liquor, local government, prison, state public service, etc. So the state governments make laws on these subjects. And the third list, it is the concurrent list. Concurrent is, you can say it is common. So it is the list of subjects that are common for union list and the state list, and here both the levels can make laws if they are same, okay. If the law is in the same way formed on certain subject, it is fine. But if the law clashes, keep the state government has made a different law on same subject, and the union government does not accept, or it has made different law on the same subject, then in such case of clash, the law framed by the union government will be accepted and applied and implemented, and not the law framed by the state government. And it is obvious, state government is functioning under the union government. Okay, then for example, the subjects are education, forest, population control, transfer of property, protection of birds and animals, administration of justice, except whose administration, not of subordinate courts, but subordinate courts can be administered by or judged by the state government, but not the high court, functioning of high court and supreme court. Okay, marriage, divorce, adoption, etc. So these are the subjects on which the legislation can be made by both the governments, state government as well as the union government, but the central law will be enforced. Besides this, the last point is independent judiciary. Yes, here also the judiciary plays very important role to avoid and clear any clash and confusion regarding the division of powers between the state and the union government. Okay, and moreover we have independent and impartial judiciary that acts like a custodian, guardian of the laws, and if any government is crossing the limits or not following the provisions laid in the constitution, that does not hesitate in checking such action of the governments, state as well as union government. All right, and this is done, by the power with judiciary, high court and supreme court, the judicial power. Okay, and judicial power is the judiciary has the right to review, to see that the law framed by the policies, programs framed by the legislature of the state government as well as of the union government is not unconstitutional, is not favoring a particular section or not favoring a particular section in the society. Okay, and everything which is done is according to the provisions mentioned in the constitution. Okay, and if it is not so, it is declared as ineffective or null and void. Thank you.